Serena Williams just walked away. No farewell post. No goodbye selfie. Just a deafening silence that left the world stunned. And the kicker? It all allegedly started when Oprah Winfrey, yes, the queen of media herself, cut Meghan Markle off mid-sentence during a podcast appearance. That one interruption may have triggered a total friendship collapse. Serena and Meghan, once inseparable, now appear miles apart, and not just physically. This isn't tabloid fluff. It's a full-blown fallout brewing behind the red carpet smiles and curated Instagram grids. Allegedly, after that now infamous podcast moment, Serena dumped Meghan and Oprah didn't lift a finger to stop it. Body language analysts, insiders, and online sleuths have all weighed in. Meghan's tight smile, the awkward pause, Serena's sudden silence. This isn't a coincidence. This is a cold reset. The clues aren't just subtle, they're strategic. Serena distanced herself without saying a word.
She spreads her legs, she hikes her dress, she circles her genitals.
Once they did, I remember being told there was a huge headline like, "We found him," or "We've got him." You're talking about someone's father. And from that point, the tabloids, they moved into the apartment next door and across from him.
Meghan flinched on camera, and Oprah? She just sat back and let it all unfold. The whispers are no longer whispers. They're turning into a scream. And by the time you finish watching this, one question will echo louder than any headline. Who really threw the first punch? It was supposed to be a light-hearted conversation between friends. Meghan, Oprah, and Emma agreed. But somewhere between the compliments and the curated girl talk, the mood took a sharp left turn. Meghan began talking about Serena, praising her as a mother, a friend, a powerhouse. And then it happened. Oprah, with a sudden pivot, cut Meghan off. No segue, no grace. Just an assertive change of subject that left Meghan frozen mid-thought. The audience might have missed it, but body language experts didn't.
We'll see King Charles do this because I don't think that he likes the fact that he's been accused of racism towards his grandchildren.
Did it feel like betrayal when you found out your father was working with the tabloids?
I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
Meghan's face shifted. Her posture went rigid. Her eyes, once wide and expressive, narrowed ever so slightly. That split-second pause? It wasn't nerves, it was rage control. Analysts called her reaction controlled contempt. Others described it as a microburst of resentment. And the internet did what it always does, zoomed in, slowed it down, and dissected every blink. To the untrained ear, it was just a minor interruption. But to those watching closely, it was a power move. Oprah didn't just interrupt Meghan. She shut her down while she was talking about one of her last standing allies. A not-so-subtle message, perhaps. Because in Hollywood, silence is never accidental, and interruptions like that are never innocent. But that wasn't even the worst part. After Oprah's interruption, Meghan didn't just recover. She recalibrated. Her voice softened, her tone turned defensive. She muttered something like, "Oh yeah," in response to Serena's praise, but the enthusiasm was gone. Her energy had shifted. It was like watching someone mentally slam a door without physically moving.
Did you see my baby mama dance? I mean, stop it. First of all, can I just tell you, the timing of that, we maybe watched it like 20 times yesterday, and I was like, is that her?
Oh my God.
Is that Prince Harry there with the fingers and the, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, by the way, that wasn't yesterday.
No,
that was 4 years ago. So it's also a really great reminder that with all the noise or whatever people do, there's still a whole life, a real, authentic, fun life that's happening behind the scenes. I'm just grateful that now, being back on social as well, I have a place where I can share it on my own terms.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. It's so authentic, isn't it?
TikTok was first to catch it. Influencers slowed the footage down, screen recorded the segment, and pointed out a sharp jaw clench that surfaced right as Oprah redirected the conversation. That clench wasn't subtle. It was the kind of reaction you get when someone's ego just took a direct hit. A forced smile followed, tight-lipped, strained, and short. It was the type of grin people flash when cameras are rolling but the temperature in the room just dropped below freezing. Fans online speculated that Meghan felt slighted, not just by Oprah, but by the sudden loss of control. In that moment, Serena's name didn't feel like an affectionate tribute. It felt like a trigger. And Meghan's reaction? It read loud and clear to anyone watching. Why is Oprah shutting this down? Why am I being silenced about someone I brought into my world? And what happened next only added fuel to the fire. Because while Meghan gave awkward smiles, Serena said nothing.
Wanting to exploit their royal titles, I think it stinks. And I think what King Charles should do, he should just strip them of the titles.
Oh my gosh, I worked so hard.
She talks like she's a one-woman band. That is not hard work. Hard work is get up in the morning, get to 7 o'clock, get into a factory or a shop and working for 10 hours on your feet, coming home knackered. That's not what happens to her.
And still being a mom.
That is
still
not
being
what
a
happens to
mom.
her.
She didn't repost the clip. She didn't comment. She didn't blink. And that silence? It echoed louder than any interview quote. Next came the silence from Serena herself. For over a decade, Meghan and Serena were branded as one of Hollywood's strongest power friendships. They met in 2010 at the Super Bowl and instantly clicked. Over the years, the bond deepened. Public appearances, red carpet support, private dinners. Serena attended Meghan's wedding. Meghan cheered Serena from the stands at the US Open. When Meghan launched her now-canceled podcast Archetypes, who was the very first guest? Serena Williams. The admiration wasn't one-sided. Serena had publicly called Meghan a beautiful friend, a fearless leader, and one of the strongest people I know.
If we're going to use the word betrayal, it's because when I asked him, which is also a really key point in all this, they don't report the news, they create the news.
The royals owe me. Harry owes me. Meghan owes me. What I've been through, I should be rewarded for.
In the wake of the Oprah sit-down in 2021, Serena was among the first to post a glowing statement defending Meghan against the tidal wave of criticism. It wasn't just a tweet. It was a full statement of admiration, protection, and sisterhood. But behind the scenes, whispers started surfacing. The glamour shots and carefully crafted quotes didn't always reflect reality. Insiders claimed their friendship was strained by fame imbalances, PR clashes, and behind-the-scenes requests Meghan allegedly made for public support during turbulent times. There were rumors that Serena's team felt exploited, that Meghan leaned too hard, too often, on Serena's status to boost her own narrative. And slowly, the public affection began to cool. Fewer shout-outs, fewer joint appearances, and eventually, radio silence. Because in Hollywood, nothing fades faster than a friendship that's no longer mutually beneficial. Yet the public affection wasn't permanent. Back in 2021, when Meghan Markle was at the center of one of the biggest media storms of the decade, there was one voice that rose above the chaos: Serena Williams. As headlines exploded following Meghan's bombshell Oprah interview, Serena issued a powerful statement that sent a wave of support across social media. She called Meghan one of the strongest and most poised women she knew, praising her for speaking out and standing tall in the face of what many considered a smear campaign.
The only thing HRH stands for in association with Meghan Markle is her ruthless homewreckerness.
And I said, that's really nice. And then the next call was like, he's British. And I said, well, that's really nice. And then eventually the third time around it was like, he's a prince. And Harry asked for her hand over the phone. And I said, you're a gentleman. Promise me you'll never raise your hand against my daughter. And of course, I give you my permission.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
The Duchess of Sussex talks publicly for the very first time about her father and her half-sister, Samantha Markle. She tells Oprah how she felt when she found out her dad was working with the tabloids.
Zoom in here and it says, with the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. That is a title that was stripped from her when she and Harry made their whole racism debacle and left the UK, left their royal duties, and moved to the US to bug all of us.
Serena didn't just post a message. She made a declaration. At the time, it felt unshakable, loyal, like the kind of bond no tabloid frenzy or royal backlash could ever sever. But fast forward to today, and that same loud voice has gone eerily quiet. No reposts, no shoutouts, no new comments, not a single mention of Meghan across Serena's platforms, not during the Spotify exit, not during the Netflix criticism, and not when the Archetypes podcast was quietly killed off. For someone who once stood front and center, Serena's silence became impossible to ignore. And fans noticed. Entire Reddit threads popped up asking, "Where's Serena? Why isn't she defending Meghan anymore?" Theories began to swirl. Was she distancing herself? Had she seen something behind the curtain that changed her view? Or was she simply exhausted by the drama that seemed to follow Meghan like a shadow? Whatever the reason, the facts remained. Serena was no longer publicly standing by her friend. And in celebrity circles, that kind of silence isn't passive, it's purposeful. And silence can speak louder than any statement. If silence raised eyebrows, the digital breadcrumbs raised alarms. Internet sleuths did what they do best. They looked closer. Screenshots began to circulate, allegedly showing that Serena had unfollowed several Meghan fan pages on Instagram. Now, maybe that doesn't sound like much, but in the world of public figures, unfollowing isn't just petty, it's personal. Adding fuel to the fire, Meghan reportedly scrubbed her website of a public Serena tribute. It had once been a glowing section praising Serena's legacy, her influence, her achievements. Gone. Just like that. No explanation. No acknowledgement. Just erased. Fans who noticed were stunned. You don't delete a tribute to your so-called best friend unless something has seriously shifted behind the scenes. To make it worse, Serena started engaging with content that had nothing to do with Meghan, liking posts from other A-list circles, promoting events with other public figures, even commenting on interviews that indirectly shaded the kind of attention Meghan often seeks. It wasn't what she posted, it was what she didn't post. All signs pointed in one direction, a quiet, calculated step back. Of course, none of this was confirmed. But when the signs stack up, unfollows, deleted tributes, selective silence, they stop looking like coincidences. They start to look like signals. And the message those signals sent? This friendship is over. But that wasn't the defining moment. Whispers behind the scenes finally broke into full-on rumors when someone from Serena's inner circle allegedly spoke up. According to a tennis insider who claims to have worked closely with Serena's team, the decision to distance from Meghan wasn't spontaneous. It was strategic. She wants peace, not drama, the insider reportedly said. She's done being dragged into royal tension. And that tracks. Serena's image has always been about strength, control, legacy, not chaos, not confusion, and certainly not being caught in the web of another woman's endless controversies. For someone as respected as Serena, reputational risk isn't something you flirt with. You shut it down. And that's exactly what she seems to have done. The same source claimed Serena had been offered multiple chances to appear alongside Meghan, joint interviews, podcast appearances, brand collaborations. Each time, Serena allegedly passed. No drama, no explanation, just polite, professional, no thank yous. These weren't ghostings. These were strategic exits, calculated refusals. The kind of cold but clean boundaries you only set when you've made a firm decision. This isn't worth it anymore. And that's the thing. Hollywood friendships rarely end in blowouts. They dissolve through silence, subtle moves, and missing invitations. Serena didn't storm out of Meghan's life. She just stopped answering the door. The storm was gathering. If you want to see the true status of a friendship, don't look at Instagram. Look at the invite list. That's where the cracks start to show. In early 2024, when Serena Williams threw a private gender reveal celebration for her second daughter, rumors started swirling that Meghan Markle wasn't on the guest list. Not a mention, not a tag, not even a polite congrats comment. Fans noticed immediately. For someone who once called Serena family, Meghan's absence raised eyebrows. And while some tried to dismiss it as a scheduling conflict or private arrangement, others weren't buying it. The speculation hit Reddit, gossip blogs, and even mainstream outlets. People started to wonder, was this the moment Serena made the cut official? To make matters worse, Photos from the event showed Serena surrounded by celebrity friends, A-listers, athletes, business moguls, but no Meghan. It wasn't just the invite. It was the optics. Meghan wasn't just excluded. She was visibly replaced. Even after that, the two appeared briefly together in April at a public-facing event. But body language experts picked it apart. Stiff hugs, no extended conversation, and no social posts. The warmth was gone. If Meghan noticed the gender reveal snub, she didn't show it publicly. But fans couldn't unsee it. Because when someone doesn't invite you to the most intimate celebration of their family, that's not a scheduling issue. That's a statement. What really governs a friendship? Privilege or presence? Serena's rumored exit didn't happen in isolation. It fit a bigger pattern that's been unfolding for months. Meghan Markle's once glittering circle of celebrity support has been shrinking fast. One by one, the stars faded out. Jessica Mulroney, once Meghan's right-hand woman, vanished from public connection after controversy hit. No posts, no parties, just silence. Then came the rumors about George and Amal Clooney pulling back. Once proudly seen at the royal wedding, they've made zero recent appearances with Meghan. No support during the Archetypes fallout. No defense during the Spotify collapse. Even Elton John's camp seemed distant. The once tight bond through Harry appears to have cooled. No co-promotions, no joint appearances. And when it came time for public campaigns, Meghan stood alone. And now, allegedly, Serena. What do all these exits have in common? They follow moments of controversy, criticism, or failed partnerships. Meghan's image has taken hit after hit, and with each one, another friend quietly disappeared. Not with drama, not with a statement, but with silence. That's how elite circles operate. They don't break up, they vanish. The connections that once lifted her to icon status have started to evaporate. And when Serena stepped back, it wasn't just a personal loss, it was a symbolic one. Because Serena wasn't just a friend. She was a pillar, a validator, the face of loyalty. And now, that pillar is gone. Now, to the gut punch, there was no headline, no press release, no unfriendly DM, just silence. Allegedly, after Oprah's cold interruption and the gender reveal omission, Serena Williams made her decision. She was done. No joint interviews, no reposted podcasts, no defense, no denial. It was the softest breakup the public never heard, but the signs were all there. Meghan went solo for months. No mention of Serena on birthdays. No shout-outs on her podcast. When Meghan needed a friend to vouch for her most, Serena had vanished into silence. Fans took notice. They don't follow each other. They don't comment. They're not seen together anymore. Reddit threads exploded with timelines and receipts. Some called it a slow ghosting. Others labeled it the most calculated celebrity friendship split since Taylor Swift's Squad dissolved. And maybe that's what stung the most. Meghan didn't just lose a friend. She lost her shield. Serena had been her defender, her reference, her cultural credibility. And now, nothing. No words. No shade. No clapback. Just silence. And that silence? Deafening. So here it is. Jaw tight. Friendship strained. Public warmth gone cold. Serena praised Meghan in word, but allegedly pulled away in deed. Oprah jets in, cuts the line, and poof, Serena walks. It's a pattern. Body language shifts, silent unfollows, quiet snubs. The question now, when one friend dumps another at the peak of notoriety, what does it say about loyalty in celebrity culture? Think about that long after the script ends.